Hello and welcome to another episode of Livestream Legends powered by Restream. We are firing up on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, and Facebook, all thanks to Restream. Welcome to the party. Drop a quick little comment if you're hanging here today. Would love to see who is in the mix. So jump in and let me know you're here. What we're doing with this Livestream Legends show is sharing the journey to become Livestream Legends together. I have absolutely loved every portion of my journey into live streaming, and I'm sharing all of the best advice and tips and tricks with you guys while also learning it at the same time. So thank you guys so much for joining. Welcome to the party, and thank you so much for joining Livestream Legends today, powered by Restream. So essentially the setup we're going to be going over today is a little something that utilizes pre-recorded videos and assets. This is something that slips off the radar for a lot of people because everybody's so used to just doing everything 100% live. So what we're going to be going over today is this pro production strategy of integrating recorded videos and assets into your live stream productions. We're going to be going over all of the creative ways to do exactly that. So thank you so much. Welcome to the party, and let's go ahead and get started with what we're going to be talking about today. The biggest piece here is finding what works for you. So this is a little secret formula of critical pieces and keystones that I'm going to advise for y'all to take with you moving forward. So the three key pieces here is all of the preparation and planning you do before the show. This is going to be very, very critical. Obviously, there's rolling with things in the moment, but a lot of live streaming and really solid productions is about planning and over preparing in as many ways as you can. So I'll be going over tips how to do that. The second piece is building out an archive of relevant assets. This is going to be very valuable to have a stash of video and assets or audio. You can do this as well, that are preloaded and ready to go, and you can use them more and more frequently over time. And then the last piece here is going to be utilizing these assets strategically. So that's either going to be through specific individual triggers that you basically set yourself up. When this moment happens, we trigger this asset. And then the alternative way is putting a pre-recorded video or some type of content in the right context. So those are the three pieces we're going to be going over today. Thank you guys so much for joining. Feel free to drop your comments, your advice throughout the show, and we'll jump into those. But as of right now, let's continue our journey, jumping into how to utilize video and recorded assets. Gonna pull this music down a little bit as we get into education mode here. But again, the primary premise of this is utilizing both live and recorded content. If you can hit this sweet spot right here in the middle, what you can end up doing is leveling up your production quality significantly while still offering the engagement and all the real-time benefits of doing stuff live. So these are going to be the primary assets we're going to be going over today. Is these four assets. The first one is timers and on-screen signals for your audience to know what's going on. The next is a show or segment intro or outro, again, to signal what is going on specifically so the users are on track with you and with the show. The third piece here is using on-stream playback. So you can play videos on screen, on stream, in creative and useful ways. We'll be going over how to do that. And then the last piece is utilizing an entire episode or an entire replay of something that is recorded and streamed live. This is another super powerful feature that you can tap into once you jump into the world of live streaming. So these four elements have absolutely changed my world and the way I run my streams, as well as the other individuals that I produce for and produce streams for. So keep that in mind. Today is all of this stuff we're going over is stuff that you can utilize as a solo streamer, or tap into the remote production side of things and get things going for other individuals. All of these tips are going to be utilized in either context. So let's go ahead and continue our journey here by jumping into timers and signals. A key piece of your job as a producer or as a streamer is to keep the audience engaged and informed of knowing what's coming, what's going on. And this is a very simple and useful way to do that. The most obvious premise is using a countdown timer. You may have noticed that at the beginning of this show. We use that to get a little bit of lead time for people to jump in and warm up the room, while also being very clear that the show is starting very soon. You don't want to stretch this too far. Otherwise, people are just going to dip out if the show is starting in 20 minutes or a half an hour or something. So countdown timers are really useful for short amounts of time that you need the audience to know something is coming up very soon. So tap into that and give it a shot. This works twice as well when you merge it with the branding or the vibe or the theme of your show. So the other piece that you can do, which falls more in the signal category, is essentially setting a video or some type of asset that is an engagement trigger. A really great use of this would be if you had rotating questions for people to ask. Rather than me asking the question every couple minutes, you could have a background video or some type of video asset that is specifically designed for an engagement trigger of we're chatting about our favorite music albums today. What is your favorite music album? And then having that on rotation as a video asset is something that makes the visual experience match what's going on the actual stream. So give that a shot in the right context. And then another use of a timer, rather than a countdown for the show starting, a really useful way you can utilize timers is for coming up on the next segment. So this is something that's very useful when you have multiple segments of the show, and a 10-minute intro, a primary interview, and then maybe like an open Q&A or rapid fire section at the end. Anything that has multiple segments, you can utilize a timer that counts down until the next segment comes. And this is a really brilliant way to cultivate and continue engagement, keeping people on your stream. If they were getting a little bit bored and we're just about to hop off, but they see the next segment is coming in a minute and a half, now maybe they're going to linger a little bit longer until they see that next segment. This is a really powerful and useful way to keep people on the same page while also getting them to hang out longer on the stream. So Loving it, loving it. Thank you guys so much for rocking and rolling with me today. Let's get this, keep it going. I always try to keep these around 30 minutes. We'll see how that goes today. But the other piece we're going to talk about today, this was number 2, is intro, outro, and transition assets. This is one that makes shows feel very, very pro. The introductions, every TV show you've ever watched has had a really nice intro and or outro. This is something I definitely would advise doing for the streams that you're setting up. Even if it's super casual or super pro, having a proper introduction video that's designed and has all the fancy animations and stuff, you can load that up and use it as your introduction. Super simple, but also super effective. In that same vein, transition videos. This is something that will be very useful if we have multiple segments. So just as we were alluding to earlier, if you have a primary, I don't know, what solo sesh here, like kind of what we're doing, and then you have a critical interview that you jump into, having a segment that signals that transition, whether it's a video or if you have a special name for the segment, you can essentially use a transition video to signal and let people know that we're moving into the next segment. The Q&A ended. Now we're going into the intro video, or whatever it's actually going to be. So that is super useful and helps keep things moving. That's really the goal here, is to just keep things moving forward with the audience on board with you. So another piece we just mentioned is a prompt or an explainer video of some sort. Occasionally, these are needed when you need to explain something complex that needs an animation or a diagram or something that's previously well explained in a video, but you can't do it 100% live. You can load up a prompt or some type of explainer video and use that as an asset. So, you can get super creative with that, use it for explanations, or do the opposite and use it for prompts, something that can trigger engagement. Now, this last piece, similar to the introductions, but catered more towards an ending, is having a clear outro video. At some point, the show is over, it's all done, and one of the things you'll want to do is emphasize and kind of put a little cap on that ending. And one of the easiest, simplest ways to do this is with an outro video. And what I advise to have in this outro video is credits, anybody you need to shout out, any sponsors, any people that help support the stream, make sure they're included and mentioned, or your call to action. If you're using your stream to convert business or build community, you'll want to have some type of call to action that emphasizes what users should do now that the show is over. So yeah, utilize that creatively. Lots of directions you can go with it. But let's go ahead and continue into our next category. We mentioned, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just jumping in, let me jump back here real quick. These are the 4 types of video assets that you can utilize in Livestream. So right now we are just jumping into section number 3 here, the OnStream Playback. So welcome. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Let's keep it rolling. OnStream Media and Playback. A simple way to think of this is imagine you just have an extra canvas that you want to use for your stream. If for anything that doesn't like literally need to be on camera like this piece, use media or videos or audio essentially as a blank canvas that other people you can basically build your stream from. So a really creative way that you can utilize video or some type of media is just simply playing it on stream for commentary or some type of review. So this can be something as simple as I've seen people that just scroll the LinkedIn feed and you can comment on posts and be like, this is great, this is awful, all kinds of directions you can take it. But it's super simple, and you can essentially just use the asset or the video for review. So you could do this with music videos you have rights to, speeches or submissions anybody sent in that you wanted to share on stream and then talk about and share your insights. Super simple way to level up solo streams to be a little bit more engaging rather than it relying 100% on that audience back and forth. So give that a shot and see what creative ways you can utilize that. Alternatively, this is something you've seen in more and more frequently in recent years, is receiving a special message from a guest. So this is brilliant for a partner or a guest or somebody that is interested in supporting your show or supporting your stream, but they can't literally attend it live. You can use a video clip to essentially share that message, whether it's a guest presentation or a quick little testimonial or hello. This is a really powerful way to get a message from somebody else, get a different face on screen, and essentially level up your stream without it requiring bringing on the guest in real time. There are occasions where that's super helpful. So utilize that in creative ways with your guests or with your audience, which leads into number 3, this next one, submissions from the audience or potentially contestants if you've got some type of game show going on. So the on-stream media can be a way to consolidate a super clean segment. So I'm thinking of doing one of these in the context of a LinkedIn's Got Talent. Rather than performing, literally having somebody perform live on air and deal with all of the issues that go wrong with that, I'm enabling contestants to submit essentially their show or their talent submission ahead of time, and then we'll review it live on stream. This is a brilliant way to reduce or prevent errors. So anything that is very likely to go wrong or is very difficult to manage in real time with tons of guests, try collecting submissions prior to the show, organize them, set them up, and then play them on stream as a part of the stream. So super simple way to, you can utilize that in tons of creative ways. Game show type of things, contests, competitions, all kinds of fun stuff that you can do to level up your game. Let's do it. Let's jump into number 4 here. Direct entertainment or ambience. This is the final way that you can use video. So the same way that I have occasionally dropped this music, it's set for an ambience. You can kind of set the tone, set the vibe with music and audio and video and all kinds of things. So think of how you can use video or pre-recorded assets, pre-recorded footage in your stream, either as direct entertainment, where that's literally the entertainment of itself. This could be something like VJs, video DJs that play with all the fancy graphics and assets, or just simply setting the ambience, setting the tone. This is something that I've done with a stream I've got going on called Feel Good Friday. The whole vibe is just kind of connecting, community, feel good vibes. And what I did is use like dramatic, like almost cinematic drone footage that is really nature-based or really large urban city-based to try and get this feeling of unity, of connection. So I use video in an ambience type of way for opening the show, and I've got these sort of cinematic aerial drone footage going on that sets the vibe and sets the tone. So think of what creative ways that you can utilize video to set the ambience or set the tone of what you want to do. Would love to see what creative ideas you guys have in that context. But it's a bottomless pit for what you can do with that on-stream media playback. So the last piece of that is make sure you're utilizing it under the proper context and the proper rights and all of that. But it is a empty canvas. I hope you guys start thinking of this in really creative ways to just level up your game in unique ways. So let's keep it rolling into the last section, the last segment of how you can integrate recorded content with live stream content. This is something that a lot of people are underutilizing. I think people only think you can just press the live button and go live like in the moment. But what you can actually do is set up your live stream platform to play other videos like these. So number one is replaying an entire episode or an entire stream. So exact same way they run reruns on TV, you can replay the entire show in its entirety on any platform. So this is brilliant if you have an audience that isn't able to make the first showing or the original showing, but they want to participate still and want to be a part of the experience. So rather than just sending them to a completely recorded stream or an archive, if you maybe you don't have that, one of the things you can do is replay the entire stream, the entire episode. So this is super powerful if anybody needs to catch the show at a different time. So that's super useful in the right context and can really get some extra mileage out of your shows, out of your streams. One of the other creative ways I've utilized this is if a stream fails or doesn't connect on a platform, the recording of it is saved. At least here in Restream Studio, I know it's saved. You can play that entire show, that entire episode, essentially on that platform again. So it's not completely lost. You can get that engagement back and keep things alive. So that is a super useful way to get some extra mileage out of your guys' show. And another piece, you guys may have seen this on YouTube. I'm starting to see it a lot more on Twitch. But you can set up an ongoing broadcast that's going virtually 24/7. You'll have to set it up and everything, but you technically can be online broadcasting 24/7. One of the creative ways to do this is have an extremely large video asset that is pre-recorded and ready to go, and that can be something as very simple as I've seen it done a lot for music. So like the lo-fi beats chill rooms or whatever. Maybe you've seen those on YouTube. That's just a really long video that somebody has just hosted on their server, on their computer, and it's playing as a broadcast on that channel. So I'd encourage you to think of what type of way could you use or utilize? It doesn't have to literally be a 24/7 ongoing broadcast, but what type of ways could you utilize an extended episode or a really long clip of something? I'm going to start testing the waters of this on LinkedIn and see how it goes by putting together kind of an open office working room for people to just throw up the stream, put on some chill beats, and if you want to interact and connect with people in the chat, sure. No idea how that's going to go. We'll test it this year and see how it goes. But I'd encourage you to think of how could you set up an ongoing broadcast that doesn't literally require your presence. So that leads us to this last piece here. For the moment, you aren't physically present to do the live stream. You can pre-record an entire stream to play it live. So this is something that can be super effective if you already know what the show setup is going to be. You already know what's going on, but you can't stream it live during the duration. So you can pre-record whatever you need, get it going, tighten everything up, and then submit it to set up playing at a specific time. Again, super powerful way to tap into this, and there are dozens of ways you can utilize each of these. So as we're going through this, I want you to do your homework or have your shower thoughts of how can you utilize all of these tools in your world and in your streams. I think it'll be a really powerful and effective way for you to continue to level up your game. So the last thing we're going to go through, since we've gone through the types of assets we can integrate into our live streams, let's go ahead and move into how we do this. And for me specifically, all of the options we're talking about today are technically going through Restream. That is my platform of choice. As well as I know many of the people here as well use Restream. So thank you guys so much for supporting this show and the Restream company as well. They're just really doing brilliant things here. So that is what we're going to advise here for utilizing those prior four types of assets. Again, these are now ways to utilize those assets. The very most simple one is this simple upload and trigger. This is exactly as it sounds. You upload the video as an asset, the clip, and then at any point you trigger it either with a click or whatever your manual trigger is, or if you want to get fancy, there are ways to automate your triggers to play certain videos after certain commands. So I am briefly going to pull up this Restream setup here and show you how simple this is. So from the Restream studio section, we go into the live studio, which will bring us to this setup. And what we want to tap into here is in the graphics section. This graphics section up here, we have these video clips. So this is a super simple way that you can jump straight into Restream, upload an individual video, and it is essentially good to go. Now, anytime I want to trigger or play that video, so in this case, we have a intro video, as I mentioned earlier, for Shay Rowbottom's show. You upload it, and it's as simple as just clicking it in the studio. Not going to go all the way through that, but that's what we have set up to set her show intro up. And it's a super simple upload and one click, the same way as everything else in the studio works. An absolutely brilliant asset. Thanks to the Restream developers. So that is the advised easiest option. That's the path of least resistance. It makes the most sense, and it's the easiest to control. The other option here is playing a video locally. So this is going to be a better advised option if if it's not a short clip. So that video I was playing over here was like a 30-second clip, or I think even less. If you needed to play a massive video, this is the exact same way. So again, we're in Restream Studio, the browser-based studio, and one of the options we have here is play a local video. So just the way you would upload something, you can play a local video that's stored on your computer. And this gives you the ability to play something directly from your device, from your machine, without needing to upload it to Restream and do the download upload thing for these shorter clips. So for shorter clips, I advise you use this. For longer clips, I advise you use the local video or that complete recording upload if it makes sense in the right context. So let's pull out of this. Alternatively, so thinking of that canvas, the last piece you can do is just share your screen. This isn't as pro as playing the video because you're going to see the cursor and stuff like you do right now on this. But a screen share is another super simple way to keep things going without requiring the video to be uploaded or played directly on the stream. If you're able to just get it up on a second monitor and play it, go for it. So the last piece that we just alluded to here was setting a scheduled stream recording. And in this case, this is the entire episode is uploaded and streamed essentially as an entire show. So the way you do this, we are on the Restream homepage. One of the setups you can do here is events. So the two options you typically have here are creating a scheduled stream that you connect to live, or this other option here is what we're talking about today. Schedule a recorded video. And this is a brilliant feature to utilize because you can share an entire episode of something, let it go live at a specific time, and then if you need to, you can be present in the comments or in this other section rather than being live on stream. So that essentially gives you the last piece of that puzzle. And in case you were curious, some of you guys may have already caught on to this, but I am actually utilizing this scheduled stream recording right now. Yes, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I am not literally live in this moment. I recorded this video, or I'm recording this video on Sunday, and we should be going live on Thursday. I'm going to be on a flight that's airtime, a flight during the airtime of this show. So I had to set up a pre-recorded stream for this episode. Y'all have been duped. Let me know in the comments if you caught on that this was a pre-recorded episode at any point. I do apologize for anybody that feels duped, but I thought this would be a really clever and creative way to show you how these tools can be utilized. So I won't be able to do a literal live Q&A. I'm going to try and jump in the comments here. But thank you guys for joining today's super special episode of a recorded live stream about recorded streams. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this one. I will definitely follow up with each of you individually, everybody that's been here throughout this show. Thank you guys so much for the support. And as you noticed, all of these tools and all of these video assets we're utilizing Restream. So if you're curious about starting your streaming adventure, playing recorded streams like this, or running with any new show ideas you have, I promise you the journey is super, super simple to get started. Jump in the description here and get started streaming today for free. The link here will get you set up for your account, and everything you need will be good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of another episode of Livestream Legends. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate your continued support as we become Livestream Legends together. Take care, y'all. We will catch you next week.